It's rumor season. It's time to talk about another Jets quarterback potentially. No way this one's going to happen, right? There's no way. There's no way, right? I knew this was going to happen eventually in terms of a rumor to come out linking the Jets to this specific quarterback. You know who we're talking about because of the title. But I refuse to even say his name out loud. Because if you know me, you know I've been telling Dolphins fans for years about this guy. And now he's linked to the Jets. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, welcome to smoke season. Again, it's a rumor. But let's talk about the rumor. Let's talk about the rumor. The Jets have interest in potentially adding Tua Tagovailoa in free agency, according to Mike Garafolo. According to him, the Jets have been doing their homework to try to learn about him as a person. If he gets outright cut, it's the same situation with Kyler Murray. You can get him on a veteran minimum deal. Let me start off with this. No way this is happening. You talk about Kyler Murray not being a fit for Frank Reich. If that's the case, he is also not going after Tua. The opposite of what a Frank Reich quarterback is. But the reality is, this is called what the kids like to call due diligence. It's a due diligence. The Jets are going to do the homework on everybody. Because I'm saying right here, right now, if the Jets bring in Tua Tagovailoa as a backup quarterback, all right, I won't be really upset. But if they bring him in to compete for the starting job and he's starting for the Jets week 1, I don't know. That's it. I mean, I really don't believe there'll be anything positive coming out of the season coming up. Now, I just really don't believe that Tua Tagovailoa is built to be a Northeast quarterback. He's not built for the weather. He's just not mentally there. He's all in for the money. He doesn't have an arm. The only positives that he has is being a quarterback that can be accurate into intermediate throws, throw on time. But when it comes to being a guy that can take the hits over the middle of the field, and I don't even need to evaluate this guy. Do I? Do I even need to evaluate him with you? I mean, I can guarantee you this. There is now one Jets fan alive that would try to convince me that this is a good idea. If there is, please reveal yourself. As Tony's in the chat, absolutely not. Absolutely not is exactly my perspective on this. Would you rather Kyler Murray or Tua Tagovailoa? Pick your poison. The reality is the New York Jets don't have a lot of options here. Ryder says right here, does this mean you're interested in Tua? You want Tua on the Jets? Is that what you mean by that? If so, please elaborate. Julio with a super chat. That will be the new Adam Gase as a QB. Yeah, I mean, that's a good comparison because when the Jets hired Adam Gase, no Jets fan was happy about it. We had to sell ourselves on it. And then he inevitably got, I mean, listen. All right, you're joking. Good thing you're joking. Listen, the reality is this. Kyler Murray, you can sell me on. Tua Tagovailoa, you can't. And the funny thing about both of them is there's something very common with them, which is both of them were drafted in the first round to their respective organizations. They're looking for fresh starts, and they're about to be released, and you can get them for cheap. So that's the one thing that does make this somewhat attractive financially. But that's it. If you're telling me it's between Tua and Kyler, I'm taking Kyler. And I don't even think Kyler's going to happen, to be honest. I genuinely don't believe Kyler Murray is a fit in this offense, and we've all talked about that. But if he's available for $1.3 million, it's a real conversation. And we broke it down on the channel yesterday. Kyler Murray is set to be a free agent, as well as now Tua Tagovailoa. But the Kyler Murray situation is interesting because the Jets can get him. I don't even think Kyler would be interested in the Jets, number one. But this is what's happening when you're the New York Jets and you have a gigantic hole at quarterback. You're going to have to talk about every single option. That's the reality of it, man. You're going to have to talk about every single option. The Jets going to be linked to every single quarterback that becomes available. And the next one is Kyler and Tua. JD the Great with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Tua to Jets is a great idea. Good locker room guy. Also, did you get my email? Which email did you send it to, my friend? A roundtable email, my email? Which email did you send it to, my friend? And I'll make sure to check it out. Appreciate the $5 super chat, JD the Great. You are a man that I genuinely appreciate for this generous super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But we are talking about the latest rumors around the New York Jets. There's some other things I did want to talk about in today's live stream, but it's just absolutely crazy stuff that this is what we get today. This is what we get today. An update on the New York Jets. Oh, man. Tua. If you guys have been watching my show and the AFC East Roundtable more than anything for a minute, you know my overall thoughts of Tua Tagovailoa. And I am not going to switch off of my thoughts. I know who Tua is. Just because, say hypothetically the Jets do land Tua, I promise you guys I will keep it real. I'm not going to, I don't know, man. It's a tough situation. Unreal stuff. Thumbs up for Jets Media. Thank you, Damo. Appreciate that, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hit the like button, folks, because the Jets are now, according to Mike Garafolo, interested in going after Tua. Now, please, let me know in the chat. I'm going to ask everybody a question, and you need to all answer it for me. If you believe that Tua could be a good idea, let me know in the chat right now. Let me know right now. Is there anybody out there that believes going after Tua is the right move? Because I really want to see if there's a single person out there that would be interested. Seems like it's not the case. They better not, says Jason. Thank you for the super chat, Jason. Now, this is a good spin on it. Great idea. Guarantees a number one pick in 2027. The tank perspective, I think the tankers would want Tua. But this would be just the end for me, bro. This would be the end for me. It really would. Oh, my goodness. It would be the end for me. I don't understand if you are a believer in the tank and you're like, yeah, let's go after Tua so we can get a number. Like, come on, bro. What's going on here? And I don't even know if this is even, like, where's Mike Garafolo coming from? Where did this even report come from? Because I'm seeing it everywhere. I don't see a tweet that he made about it. Did he say it on Good Morning Football or something? Because I don't see where he said this. So I think that at the end of the day, obviously the Jets are going to be doing the due diligence on all these freaking quarterbacks. But I don't know. There's no way this is real. Because if you look at Frank Reich coming here to try to establish some type of mindset, some type of quarterback, you don't go after a guy in Tua Tagovailoa, who is like, if there was one quarterback out there that's a veteran that could potentially take his game to a new level in a new environment, I think it's Kyler over Tua. I just don't believe in that guy. I never have and never will. And hey, maybe that's what the Jets need. The Jets need to get somebody in the building that absolutely nobody believes is going to become the guy. All right, so my boy just tagged me on Twitter. Damon, thank you very much. I have the clip here of my girl fellow talking about it. Let's see what he has to say. Is he convincing? Let's hear it.
Yeah, still some more news and notes to get through here, Sherry, as we are at the busiest time of the year when it comes to NFL news. Let's talk about the Vikings. I mentioned earlier I was going to talk about them and their quarterback situation. Now, Daniel Jones got the transition tag from the Colts. I think in an ideal world, the Vikings would like to.
Okay, don't care about the Vikings. Where are we at? 49ers. Okay, here is the 201.
Sort of like Kyler Murray in that if he gets cut, he is going to be available for potentially the veteran minimum to come in and be a starting caliber quarterback. So
Jets among teams doing work on Tua as possible free agent acquisition. That is absolutely nuts. Is Mike just assuming this? Now, Mike Garafolo is great at his job. I respect him. And I don't think he would say this if it wasn't true. I don't think this is made up. I don't think Mike Garafolo is going out there just going to say something that's not true. So we have to take this rumor with real substance. Because if the New York Jets land Tua Tagovailoa, that's going to put a big rift in this freaking fan base. I'll tell you that much. Because I don't think, like, that's the end of, unless Tua comes here, the Jets are bad, and then we are able to draft our guy in 27. I don't know what positive can possibly come out of a potential Tua to the Jets scenario. Because you talk about someone that needs to hit on their quarterback this offseason, it's the Jets. But the biggest problem the New York Jets have is going to be finding their quarterback in a completely dead quarterback market on free agency and in the draft and in the trade market. There's no good options out there, and that's the biggest problem that the Jets are going to be having all throughout this offseason. Julio Kelly with a $2. If we sign Tua, bye-bye Glenn. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to really believe in Aaron Glenn if Tua Tagovailoa is the answer. Which, by the way, I got to find the clip, but when the Jets were taking on, when the Jets were versing, let me see if I can find it. When the Jets were versing the Dolphins this year, Aaron Glenn was basically just roasting Tua Tagovailoa in a press conference, which makes me believe there's no way he's getting. That's not his type of quarterback, bro. There's no way. Let me see. Here it is. I think I found it. This was Aaron Glenn talking about Tua Tagovailoa. I think this is the clip. Let's play it. See if I'm right.
And I think there's a number of things that I think that's pretty unique about that player. And I think the one thing that he does really, really well is his anticipation of where everybody's going to be at and being able to get the ball out. It makes it hard for defensive backs to actually react to a lot of his throws. But I do see sometimes when that throw is not there, man, he has to get to a second and third option. And that's when you can take, you try to take your chance, but he's still, not bad in those situations too. So he's a guy that's very streaky. Now, if you let him get hot, man, he can really go on the run. We all remember the year. I think he led the league in passing, when he was really, really hot. So we can't allow him to get into that type of mode because we know what he can be. So we have to limit him as much as we can. We know the skill players that he got, that they surrounded him with, guys in the backfield, even the receivers that they got. I know Wallace coming back, he gave some trouble last time. We can't allow him to start getting to those guys to be able to make plays because he can be very dangerous.
So he didn't really say anything terrible about him, but he basically said what I was referring to. He's good anticipation. He's good on that first read, but when you get off that first read, that's when you can take advantage of it. And then Glenn, of course, didn't want to make it seem like he's roasting the guy. He basically said, yeah, he's good in those scenarios too. No, he's not, coach. No, he ain't. So that's Aaron Glenn on him. Kind of slow-key praising the guy. Rican says, please, no Tua. Yeah, man, we're all in the same boat here. It's really hard to spin. Now, the only thing I can say about the Tua situation, if the Jets did sign him, is that it's a complete low risk, high reward scenario where you're not committing long term, of course. But then again, you're stamping your job on the success of this guy. If you're Aaron Glenn, that's the biggest thing. Like, if the Jets are an absolute abomination again this upcoming season, it's really going to be hard to justify keeping Aaron Glenn here. He needs to win this upcoming season. He doesn't need to win the division. He doesn't even, obviously we want to make the playoffs, but I don't think it's playoff or bust. I think it's competitiveness, showing that there's a change, showing the defense improve, showing the offense absolutely taking a step forward, and winning 7, 8, 9 games. I think that can buy Aaron Glenn a ticket to another season with 2027's draft class being as stacked as it is at quarterback, with as many picks that the Jets have, with as much cap space. As fun as this offseason is going to be, 2027 is going to be even crazier. The only way Glenn can buy a ticket to being the coach for that next season is by being competitive this upcoming year. And is Tua the best option for that? No. Absolutely not. If we do this, good luck with TD Finn's talk. Well, the good thing is the Dolphins are going to be absolutely trash this year, and they need to be. They are entering a rebuild. The Dolphins have not rebuilt their team in a long time. So Tua can be on the Jets, and TD can laugh and clown us all he wants, but at least we'll be ahead of the Dolphins still, somehow, some way. We'll see, though. You never know. You still never know. Thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate it. Early congrats on 32K, Richie. Well, thank you, Danger Zone. We're still wells away. We're around 90 plus subscribers away. So if you're new to the show, hit that subscribe button, folks. We're live here on Jets Media quite often, making some content, doing some fun things here on the channel. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Seems like we're all in this together with this Tua situation. Dolphins already in tank mode, absolutely. And I think that, we'll see. He's going to be cheap, knows how to play, and the dude has had games where they put up 50 freaking points. When have we ever done that, Kenny O'Brien? So we found the Jets fan that wants Tua. So, all right. So we're going to give Tua credit for the 50 freaking points. That's interesting. Now, of course, he was the quarterback and all that. Mike McDaniel, all the weapons that he has. Tua Tagovailoa had Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, the best supporting cast you could possibly imagine around him. And he had one good fluky season of leading the league in passing yards. Outside of that, bro, he is the definition of when things go wrong, he's not capable of overcoming it. The NFL is a sport. The quarterback position is a spot where you need to be able to have that mental fortitude to push through adversity off the field, especially with the Jets. You also need to be able to show that you're capable of stepping up your game when the play breaks down. When your first read is not there, are you able to branch off of it, find the check down, or use your athleticism or use your football acumen to escape the pocket, extend the play, keep your eyes downfield, make the throws, or maybe pick up the first down with your legs? He's not capable of those things. He doesn't have an arm. I want Tua, especially in Reich's offense. Very accurate and is a leader by all counts from his teammates, but I don't think he should be the only ad. I can't tell if I'm being trolled. Bobby boy, are you serious? I can't tell. I can't tell, man. He is accurate, but a leader? A leader? According to his teammates. The guy cashed out on a contract extension, and he walks up to training camp. He's like, we got paid, bro. The guy's is only in it for the money. And then what happened when he got paid? Fell off the face of the earth. I don't want to be that guy to be all negative and all that, but come on. I'd rather go after, Derek Carr out of retirement than Tua. That's crazy. Crazy. I think what we have to remember for this season is that we need QB competence, not perfection. There is no great choice. We need a competent QB for 2026. our offense can thrive. Now, the good thing is that keeps me a little bit more positive thinking is that I think the Jets offense actually has a foundation. There is some pieces that a quarterback can come in here and work with. There is a solid foundation on the offensive line. There is Garrett Wilson as your number one receiver. There is Breece Hall to lean on in the run game. You have a young Mason Taylor that they're going to add more to that position. You have Adonai Mitchell that you're going to see develop within the system. You have the capital to add more talent to the offense this offseason. It's not a bad situation. Frank Reich, solid offensive coach. But I don't know if you can convince me that Tua Tagovailoa is the guy. Tua and Tyreek to the Jets. Can you imagine that? Imagine the Jets get Tyreek here, and then we just take the Miami Dolphins. I mean, how funny would that be, bro? Let's just live in a Delulu hypothetical world for a second. The Jets get Tua and Tyreek. We pair them up with Garrett Wilson, and we fulfill what the Dolphins couldn't do with that tandem. We become a good football team. I can't even say that with straight face. Maybe that's what the Jets need. Maybe the Jets need to get someone that there's no hype around, and then they shock everybody. Because not everybody, but majority of the people in Jets land were extremely excited when they went after Aaron Rodgers. Everybody's fired up. We got our quarterback. We're ready to go. Let's go. And then the guy tears his Achilles. Right? So what if we get a quarterback that the entire fan base doesn't believe in? And what if he ends up being the guy? What if that's what this team has needed all along? A quarterback that no one wants. I'm totally kidding, bro. Like, this is seriously making me sick to my stomach. Brissett with G5, Breece, Mason, and Lemon at 16 can win us 8 games. Yeah, I'd rather go after Jacoby Brissett. This is crazy stuff. This is crazy stuff. Next, we bring in back Joe. I quit with these takes. What take you talking about? Because I'm not saying anything crazy. I just don't understand, man. The takes I'm seeing in the chat, pretty out there. Russell Wilson would be a huge mistake for the Jets. His better days are far behind. Thank you, Steve. I don't think the Jets are linked to Russell Wilson, are they? Brissett will cost the 16th pick? Are you out of your mind? You think Jacoby Brissett is going to get traded for the first round pick at pick 16? You know, sometimes I can't tell if you guys are kidding with me or not in the chat. You feel me? You're making this tough for me. I think Malik Willis gets us 9 wins. That's another option. I haven't really heard any smoke with the Jets and Malik Willis. I really haven't. Hell no. Brissett over Tua. Tua is better. I don't know, man. Jacoby Brissett, I think you guys are sleeping on what he did last year for Arizona. He put up 23 touchdowns and 8 interceptions and a 65 completion percentage and 3,300 yards in how many games? Jacoby Brissett? I mean, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that he's all that. Brissett's this all quarterback. But he was no scrub. I'd argue he's better than Tua last year. I mean, Tua was an abomination. Putting up picks left and right, leading the league and this and that. Like, there's no way you can convince me. But the only thing that makes this feel a little bit better is that it would not cost a lot of money. So look on your screen. This is Jacoby Brissett's numbers last year. This was Tua's numbers. Box score does not tell you all of it. But what upside is there with Tua? What upside is there? What can the Jets give Tua that he did not have with Miami? Tua Tagovailoa is a product of a Mike McDaniel system that he puts the ball right where it needs to be. He's a spot thrower. He was a merchant of Tyreek Hill, and I'm not saying he deserves no credit for that season where he led the league in passing yards. But I personally think Tua is a quarterback that can actually play better with not as good as an offensive line and phenomenal weapons around him. Because the one thing that Tua is good at is getting the ball out fast. He can get the ball out quick because he's looking at the first read. Ball snap, ball's out. Okay. He did that against the Jets every single time he versed us. He also never lost to the Jets. That's not saying much. But that season where he was fantastic, there was even a limitation in that game, in his game in that season. He's also never stepped up in the biggest moments. He's terrible in Northeast weather, where the Jets play at MetLife Stadium without a dome. If the weather is below 40 degrees, he stinks. Come on, man. I understand the Jets need a quarterback, but they better do better than Tua. So I'm actually shocked. So there's actually Jets fans that would be down to bring in Tua for their quarterback this season. Let me just make sure this is correct. There are legit Jets fans that want Tua as their quarterback this year. Is that true? They believe that they can unlock the most out of him, that he's going to have a resurgence, because I'm actually shocked. And I don't even want to put a poll up in the chat because I know that there's going to be Dolphins fans and non-Jets fans voting. I guess I'll put up a poll. But I want Jets fans to vote in the poll, not Dolphins fans. Nobody else. Nobody else vote unless you're a freaking Jets fan. Because I got to know the truth, man. I got to know the truth about Jets Nation. And listen, everyone's entitled to their opinions. Everybody's entitled to feel how they want to feel, to want what they want. But you got to give me a reason. If your reason is he's better than what we have, that is not enough. The Jets don't have anybody. Anybody is better than what we have. Literally anybody. Would you want the Jets to sign Tua? All right. Poll is live. Vote away. While you're voting, hit the like button. You cannot vote in the poll unless you hit the like button first. It's a rule. It's not actually a rule, but let's pretend it is a rule. Super chat from a man, OG Jake 99. I'm a 26-year-old Jets, Mets, and Knicks fan. I've never questioned any of my fandom once. Tua cannot be my QB at any point. OG Jake, we are aligned, my friend. I am a Jets, Mets, and Knicks fan myself. I'm about to turn 28 years old in a month on April 1st. We are aligned. How about that? You're my long-lost brother. Nah, man, I feel you. I feel you, bro. Tua cannot be my QB at any point. There's no way, bro. I would take so many quarterbacks over this. So many quarterbacks, man. 33% are saying yes. I'm convinced there's non-Jets fans voting. Remember, I said Jets fans. No, if you vote in the poll, you're admitting you're a Jets fan. This poll is exclusive for Jets Nation. Exclusive for Jets Nation. I appreciate the Jets doing their due diligence on Tua, but Tua with that MetLife turf, no thanks. Can you imagine the headlines and optics if Tua suffers a career-ending head injury? Dude, I even forgot about the injuries and the concussions. Oh, my gosh. Get him out of here. You get Kyler for over $1 million and you want Tua? I don't want Tua. Let me make that clear. I want nothing to do with him. If you're saying Kyler Murray or Tua, it's Kyler Murray, 100%. And that's not really saying much. I'm not saying Kyler is this end-all, be-all. You feel me? So, at the end of the day, I don't know. And I would like Jets Nation to give me a compelling reason why this would be smart. Because I'm still waiting to hear that. I'm still waiting to be convinced. And if you're, the only reason I think this is a real possibility is the unfortunate reality that the options are really bad this offseason at quarterback. And that's the biggest problem. Last year, the options were bad, and the Jets were unable to get a quarterback, so they had to get Justin Fields that everybody knew what we were getting. We were hopeful, like, okay, maybe we can turn him into something. Maybe this offense can be built out of, but no. An abomination. But with Frank Reich being the quarterback, I think that the Jets actually have a shot to build some type of offense around a quarterback that has an ability to throw the football down the field and not have a noodle arm. You feel me? Like, his intangibles are not what I want in a quarterback. No, thank you. I'd rather draft a quarterback and play him than this. Kyler, $1.3 million a year. Derek Carr, $35 million. Kyler, no-brainer. Tua can't play in the cold. No, he can't. AR5, Anthony Richardson, another quarterback. Interesting. Trade for Mac Jones. The trade is interesting because the Niners are not going to trade him away. That's the thing. Tanner McGee, if you want to talk about a trade that makes the most sense, it's Tanner McGee from Philadelphia. But the problem is Philly's not going to want to trade him. He's someone that I would actually take a flyer on, someone that is just waiting for an opportunity. That's someone that I would prefer. I'd rather go after someone that has a potential to be something than someone that we know exactly who he is. Because Tua was in an environment that had everything. It's not like he had like the Miami Dolphins did not fail Tua. Tua failed the Dolphins. That's how I look at it. The New York Jets failed Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold did not fail the Jets. And that's not me to say that Sam obviously had a lot of mistakes of his own. But who do you have throwing the ball to? Jameson Crowder? Robbie Anderson? Adam Gase coaching him? Washed up Le'Veon Bell after sitting out? Tua had Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, A-Chain, a really good running attack, an offensive-minded head coach. He had everything. Come on, man. It's take my 7-year-old cousin at Thanksgiving over Tua. Hey, I agree. I agree. There's a lot of people I'd take over Tua, bro. A lot. And it's sad that we're here. It really is sad. And I don't want this to become a war amongst Jets Nation. I'm actually shocked. The poll is 70% and 30%. Wild. Absolutely wild. I feel like at this point, we're desperate. And when you're desperate, that's when you make bad irrational decisions. Irrational decisions, man. So let me know what quarterback you guys want. Because I understand the people that are like, well, Richie, there's not a lot of options. This is the only options we really have. Yeah, it's true. But you evaluate the options and you don't settle. Like, this is an opportunity for the Jets to really make something. It is just a rumor, so calm, but still no to Tua. I mean, it's a rumor, but it's Mike Garafolo reporting that the Jets are doing their homework on him. So I think there's a big difference, and I want to make this clear. This report, this rumor, is not saying the Jets are going after Tua. The report is the Jets are doing their homework on him. So, hey, maybe after their homework and after their evaluation of Tua, they come away, yeah, no. Doesn't fit. That's what we can hope. Perhaps Zach Wilson might talk him out of coming here. Yeah, Zach Wilson's another free agent. Let's go after Zach. Yeah, how about that? Tua is better than Malik Willis. I don't know, man. We haven't seen enough of Malik Willis to say that. But the problem is Malik Willis will cost a lot of money. Tua will be cheap. You see what I mean? Tua cheap or Willis for 30 mil. You know, screw the money situation, bro. I want a winner. I want a quarterback that I believe in, bro. I don't want to try to convince myself that this guy is him. Listen, if the Jets bring in Tua, the only way you can sell that on me is if he's not starting week 1. And it's a big competition, and he loses the competition, and the Jets go into the week number 1 with another veteran playing, and then there's a rookie. Like if we have, say the Jets trade for Tanner McKee, and they sign Tua, and they drafted Drew Aller, and then Tanner McKee ends up being the starter, Tua's the backup, and Tua doesn't even take a snap. Cool. I'm fine with that. Dude, I don't know, man. I just don't understand. Like, Jets fans, I know we're desperate for a quarterback. I know we need one very, very badly. I understand Tua is cheap. I understand it's a low-risk situation here. But I've watched this guy. As soon as he was drafted out of Alabama, before he was a Dolphin, I did not like him as a prospect. I never liked Tua. I had a friend of mine growing up in high school, big Dolphins fan, became the biggest Tua fan alive. We got into so many debates about Tua, and then Roundtable Sports began, and then I had to talk about Tua all the time on the Roundtable, bro. Like, dude, I don't know how if you're a Jets fan, you look at Tua and you're like, yeah, man, for $1 million, it's better than what we have. You just want to suck next year? Like, I don't want to suck next year. I don't want to be a trash team next year. Were the Jets a trash team last year? Yeah. Were the Jets a trash team 10 years in a row because we have 10 straight losing seasons? Absolutely. Tua is not the guy to build this team up from the ashes. And if Aaron Glenn wants to save his job, you don't go after this guy. I'm keeping it real, man. I'm not going to sit here and just be like, yeah, man, they should do that. I believe whatever they say. No, that's not what I'm doing here. Man. My boy Jets Indy. Tua is not my first choice. However, he can run an offense, and he is better than what we had. Now, this is the mindset I'm very terrified of from Jets Nation. Because we're so bad that we're happy and to settle with mediocrity. Because mediocrity is better than being incompetent. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to settle just because we're that bad. And he can run an offense. What does that even mean? He can run a system? He can spot throw? The play gets broken down, he's screwed. If he doesn't have a run game to lean on, and his number one receiver is getting double teamed, what threat does he have? Jets fans, do not try to convince yourself on this. I'm telling you. Because the reality is, what my man Indy Jets said is not wrong. In term the part of what he said, I don't know about running an offense type of thing. Because, yeah, he can run an offense, but how well can he run an offense? The Jets have had a bad quarterback playing for this football team as long as I can remember. And Tua Tagovailoa, maybe he's not trash. Maybe he's not absolutely bottom of the barrel. What's the word below good? You know, like, I don't know, man. I just don't want to settle on this guy, man. I see no upside. I see nothing. And, hey, maybe that's what we need. Maybe the Jets got to get exactly who I don't want. And then I will be... Because let me say this. If the Jets do get Tua, and he goes out there, and I'm against it, and I'm openly against it, and then he goes out there this season and balls out, has a career season, the Jets are in the playoffs, led by Tua, I will be the first person to raise my hand and say I was dead wrong, And I'm a happy man. Because let me also say this. I'm a Jets fan. As much as I do not like Tua today, if Tua does become a Jet, you best believe I'm rooting for him. I want him to prove me wrong. I'm not going to convince myself that he's going to do anything until he proves it. I'll be rooting for him with the lowest of expectations you can possibly imagine. That would be my approach if this did happen. But it's not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen, man. There's no way. There's no way. Muji is the problem. How is Muji the problem? Let me know what you mean by that, Nick. I'm very curious because if there's one thing about this Jets organization right now that makes me somewhat confident, it is Muj. It is Muj. I think Darren Muji is somebody that actually has a forward-thinking mindset, and I like what he's doing. Tua's one concussion away from being out of commission. Exactly. Bro, y'all better off with Kyler. Kyler can actually play big arm fast, just need to stay healthy. I agree. I agree. Noodle arm will fit, make a perfect Jet. Let that New York media start destroying him when he starts losing games by throwing interceptions. His feelings will be so hurt you'll have to bench him. This is what some people want. Not me. Because it's exactly what would happen. Exactly what will happen. Just think, Dolphins paid him the bag so he would feel legit and prove everyone wrong, and guess what? He didn't prove anything. He's exactly the type of player that when money comes in, he gets complacent, he doesn't really care anymore, and he falls off the face of the earth. I don't want a player that's built like that. Money should not change you. Mason Taylor is unplayable? That is the worst take I think I've seen. Unplayable? What are you talking about? Unplayable? This guy is something against Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor is no fantastic tight end, but he is not unplayable. The guy is a solid blocker, and in an offense that was unable to even stretch the ball down the field, and he also got injured at the end of the season. Unplayable is ridiculous. That is a bad take. That is a bad take. Very bad take, actually. Tua was always a backup. He was never a starter. Well, starter for the Miami Dolphins for years and years and years. And look where that's got him. It's got him to a bag, and now a new regime wants nothing to do with him. Wants nothing to do with him. Look at it like this. If Tua is as bad as you say he is, he can help us get the number 1 overall pick. See, that's the thing. I don't want that. I don't want to get a quarterback in the building this year just to help us tank, bro. I'm sorry. I don't care if I'm in the minority, bro. I don't care. But I do not want this season to be, let's just kick the can down the road and go all in for next year. Bro, I want to win football games this year, and so does Aaron Glenn, dog. Like, what are we doing? Honestly, if the regime is thinking that way, fire him now. Because they need to go out there and win right now. And they know that. They're not thinking like that. That's just a fan perspective. That is always a fan mindset. Let's just tank this year so we get a better quarterback. Like, it doesn't work like that. It don't work like that, bro. Mason Taylor is what? An average backup tight end? He is coming off a rookie season, so you don't know what Mason Taylor is. You don't know what type of player someone is after a rookie season. I've always believed that. You got to give them 3 full years, and then you know who they are. Mason, you're making it seem like this guy, Mason Taylor, had a drop issue and was getting penalties and all these things. This guy, Mason Taylor, was, like, solid. He wasn't a phenomenal, like, all-beater talent, but he's a solid blocking tight end that has solid hands that can run all the routes you possibly want him to run. I mean, I'm not going to rule him out. He had 44 catches last season for 369 yards in an offense that did not throw the football well, and he had solid reps in blocking. So for me to sit here and say he's unplayable, I'm not going to do that. I'm also not going to say he's going to be a stud because he hasn't proved that. He hasn't proved nothing yet. Just like a lot of players haven't proven yet. A lot of people in the NFL, after their rookie seasons, have a chance to go out there and prove themselves. And if you want the tape to back it up, I'll bring it to you. Shout out to my boy Joe Blewett. You want to go into Mason Taylor tape? I'll gladly do that since this guy wants to hate on this kid. Let's do it. Let's watch Mason Taylor tape. Let's see what Mason Taylor does on blocking here. Setting the edge, completely throwing his defender out. And look at the running lane that Justin Fields has. That's week number 1. His NFL debut, by the way. Week 2, perfect lead block, opening it up for Justin Fields again, getting down the field and blocking. Throwing his man off the screen, by the way. There's just blocking reps because you got to block in the NFL. Look at him decleating somebody in the second NFL game. Completely decleating somebody. Look at this. Bah! Do it one more time. Welcome to the NFL, Mason Taylor. Bah! Completely decleating a man. Catching it with 2 defenders on him, but this is unplayable. And again, this is not me hyping up Mason Taylor as going to be an all-pro or anything. High point, contested catch. Let's keep the clips coming. What was that? Was that pass protection? This one? Oh, no, it was a route that he got wide open, didn't get the ball. Joe Blewett's got all the Mason Taylor clips you need. So, listen, man, I'm not going to sit here and try to sell you on Mason Taylor being anything other than a rookie that's going to get better and better. That's all. That's all. So we can move on from that. Sometimes I like when I see an absolutely unbelievable take. I like digging deeper into it. 21 years old as well. And the Jets should also add a tight end, by the way, this offseason. You extended Ruckert, you got Mason Taylor, add a third tight end, and round out that room. Let's go. Let's do it. Taylor would hit strides this season under Reich. Well, he also needs a quarterback. That's another thing that he needs desperately. We all need a quarterback for the Jets, and will it be Tua? I don't know. Richie, if the Jets do sign Tua, does that change how the Jets will work the draft? Good question. I don't know. I think that you'll see the Jets still, potentially. I think they're going to draft a quarterback regardless of what they do in free agency. You feel me? Why haven't the Jets released Fields yet? Because there's no rush for them to do that. They don't have a rush to do that. The way that his contract is currently constructed, they can literally cut him at the end of June, and it will have no impact on the cap. So they're going to hold on to him. There's no rush. They're going to do right by him, and he's going to be gone. Feel me? Let's do it. The hell happened to Jelani Woods? Good question. I wonder if is Woods under contract next year? I don't think so. Is he a free agent? He did not see the field whatsoever when we got him on the waiver wire. He was not on the field once. Yeah, he's a free agent, so he's probably going to leave and go elsewhere. Most likely. So, does anybody have any predictions right now? Predictions in the chat. Who is the quarterback going to be? Let's hear it. I would rather eats and stick QB1, Tua a deal breaker. Bro, I mean, there's a lot of different quarterbacks that you'd want. But eats and stick, bro, that's a crazy pull. Where is he right now? Is he in Atlanta? Whew. Man, I appreciate the super chat, Danger. Can I just get put in a coma until 2027? Man, it's sad, man. I hate that we are kicking the can. We're already looking past this upcoming season, man. Mitch Trubisky, Jacoby Brissett, and Ty Simpson. Michael says Derek Carr, QB1. I don't know what the rumblings are on that. I don't know what there's no update on that. Hopefully it's Nussmeier. Interesting. Derek Carr, Brissett. Makes sense. Wasn't aware, Richie. Thanks, dog. As always, Mike, I got you, brother. Appreciate you. Kyler Murray. Is Jets Forever's pick? Okay. Trade back for Love and take Caden Proctor to play guard. We just franchise tagged Breece Hall. We're not going to draft Love. I predict the QB choice will be Rattler. That's an interesting one. Now we're talking. That's one I haven't heard yet. Is he on the block? Excuse me. Thanks for the super chat, my brother. I don't know what the update is, if there is even an update with that. You think we take Carson Beck? He fits the Jared Goff style quarterback. Now, that's a good point. Carson Beck, when I asked him about the Jets, he said he had a great meeting with them. He's very impressed with the meeting with the Jets. He was someone that was... The thing about Carson Beck is that's like a high floor, low ceiling type of quarterback. He's not going to be someone... I mean, you never know. I don't want to put a cap on anybody because you never know. But it feels like Beck is that quarterback that he could be solid, man. But how good is he going to be? You know what I mean? Like, how good is he going to be? He could be an average. Like, I could see Carson Beck going to the NFL and being like the 19th to 23rd best quarterback in the league. Like, I can see that. I can see that. Is that what I want on the Jets? No, man. I want a top 10 quarterback, bro. Like, oh, I know it's easier said than done, but I want the Jets to find a guy that is the guy, a difference maker, someone that sparks fear in the opponent, somebody that's like, shoot, man, we got to go up against the Jets and that guy. Wouldn't that be nice? Like when you go up against Lamar Jackson, you got to worry about it. Like, oh, gosh, Lamar's going to be wild, man. How are we going to deal with this? Even Josh Allen, man, you got to worry about Josh Allen. I want a quarterback like that, man. And you find those guys usually in the draft, but unfortunately, there is no guy like that in the draft. If you want to talk about the draft class, you know, Garrett Nussmeier, Drew Aller are two guys that I think the Jets could take a swing on. Ty Simpson, I just don't know if the Jets are going to pull the trigger on him in the first round. Carson Beck, I mean, maybe like a day 3, like Sawyer Robertson or Luke Altmaier, late day 3. It's a crazy situation the New York Jets are in right now. We're all here trying to figure out how the Jets are going to find their franchise quarterback. It is the ultimate situation. What's your guys' thoughts? It feels like nobody really knows where the Jets are going to go. No fan knows for sure. We all understand that, right? We all understand that. Everyone thinks they know, but we don't know. Okay? Why not re-sign Tyrod? I think that's an option. I think the Jets are going to re-sign Tyrod and sign a quarterback and draft one. I wouldn't be shocked if that happened. I think that would be a smart decision, actually. I would like Tyrod to stay. Would you guys agree? Let me know right now in the chat. Do you think Rams trade affects Ty's draft status? Good question. I don't know. I think the Rams would still, if Ty Simpson's there at 13 and they think that Ty Simpson could be the guy, I still think they would do it. Because the Rams got to set up their future, and they're also at the same time trying to set up to win the Super Bowl. I think the Rams going after, trading away their 29th pick, they still have the 13th pick. So they could still draft Ty Simpson at 13. So get Ruben Bain in 16th, get a wide receiver. I don't think Ruben Bain's going to be a Jet. I don't really think he fits what the Jets are trying to do on defense, but hey, you never know. Drew Aller and Frank Reich. I like that. That's a project. The thing about Drew Aller is he has the intangibles, he's had the physical traits, but does he have it upstairs? Those types of prospects always scare me, man. That means you need to really get someone that you think is going to be able to unlock themselves in the proper environment. I don't know if he's built like that. I don't know him that well. I think the second overall pick is going to be David Bailey or Arvell Reese, and then I think 16 is going to be either a playmaker on offense or defense. I think they're going to, and guys, the one thing I will say, bro, don't rule out the New York Jets splashing and using all, or not all, but most of their resources on defense. I think that the Jets are going to go crazy on defense this offseason in terms of personnel. Spending in free agency on defense and drafting. I think there's a world where 3 of the 4 picks in the top 4 are all defense. The defense has a lot more holes than the offense, folks. So that's why I would say that. That's why I would say that. I think that the offense has somewhat a nice foundation. But on the other hand, the defense does not. And we have, accounts posting stuff like this. Drew Aller, pair up with Brees and Garrett. Who's it going to be? It's going to be a very interesting offseason, folks. I'm very excited to see who it is. This is the most mysterious offseason, I think, in a long, long time. And if I had to guess where Kyler Murray is going to go, it's probably the Dodgers. This is funny. Sleeper with the graphic. It's pretty hilarious. He's a baseball guy. I don't think Kyler would want the Jets. I really don't. I think that Kyler is someone that would prefer Minnesota. Than the Jets. So that's why I feel like at the end of the day, it's really tough to evaluate exactly where the Jets are going to go. Because there's so many different options. Where's Justin Fields going to land? It's another conversation we need to have. But this is going to be a topic of conversation. Free agency is this Monday, and I'm excited about it, man. I am very excited about it. Folks, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up button. We're live here on Jets Media. Here on a Wednesday, March 4th, a lot of interesting things coming out there in Jets land. We have some rumors we're talking about Tua Tagovailoa. We have more stuff that we're breaking down here on the channel throughout the week. So don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We have a poll. Let's see where the poll is at. Let's end the poll and look at the results. Drum roll, please, of the results of the poll. And folks, let's try to get to 100 likes. We're at 86 likes right now. We need 14 more likes to get to 100. So smash that like button. Out of 165 votes, so it's 165 people can hit the vote poll, but you can't hit the like button. I never understood that. I'm just messing with you guys. But 67% says no. 33% says yes. Wow. So 67% of Jets fans would be down for Tua. Wow. What do you guys have to say about that? What do you guys got to say about that? I don't know if you guys really genuinely believe this stuff, but I'm actually a little shocked that there's more Jets fans that want Tua than I initially thought. I'm going to tweet out the poll results so you guys can be exposed on my X account. I polled my YouTube on if they wanted Tua on the Jets. Way more people voted yes than I thought. Typo. Oh, boy. This is going to be a crazy offseason. It already is. Oh, 67% said no. You're right. Way more people voted yes than I thought. But 33% of yes is still a lot. You're talking about 1/3. Wild stuff. Folks, we're going to wrap up the show here. Appreciate you guys tuning in to another edition of Jets Media Live, breaking down some rumors and some news and all things New York Jets. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button on your way out of the show. Really do appreciate everybody tuning in as always. My name is Richie Malora, reporting to you live. And we'll see, man. Only time will tell. We have Monday, man. Time's ticking. All of a sudden, free agency is going to be here, and the tampering period opens up Monday. So we're going to have a lot of fun on the channel. We're going to be live for Free Agency Frenzy all week next week. So stay tuned for that, folks. We're going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much. And very fun discussions today. And again, if I ever disagree with you in the chat for any takes that you have, don't take it personal. It's all fun. At the end of the day, we're just talking ball. I'm out, folks. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And let's go, Jets. Still live? What's up, chat? Just relaxing after a live stream. Still on. Oh, guess I forgot to hit the end button, so you're stuck with me. I don't want Tua, folks. It's that simple. Well, I don't know why the live didn't end, but I'm going to end it now. Sorry about that, folks. See you guys next time. Let's go Jets.